Hi everybody. Today we are talking everything toddler sleep. How we're going to make bedtime easier for your toddlers and how we're going to get your toddlers to sleep easier. This is a huge battle for so many parents, and I want you to know that it doesn't have to be that way. And with some super simple, easy tools, you can have your toddlers sleeping easier in the next 2 weeks. I'm Tia Slidham, and I'm a parenting coach, Toronto-based. I work with parents all over the world via Zoom conferencing, and today I'm helping you get your toddler to sleep. Now, we all know toddlers have a mind of their own, and they like to be the boss and in charge. So with my 3 steps today, you're gonna help put your child in charge, but in a positive way. One that you don't have to battle those power struggles and those tantrums and those crazy outbursts, especially at bedtime when we know we are all exhausted and need to get some sleep. Now, we also know that kids who are overtired are not easy to be reasoned with. They turned into crazy little things that really are on a planet of their own, and there's nothing you can say or do to help calm them down. We've all been there, myself included. But I want you to know that when your child is sleeping easier and sleeping the amount of sleep that they need, you will notice that you won't be dealing with those tantrums or those outbursts, and you will have your child back instead of that alien from Mars. So the 3 steps I want you to do today to start making bedtime easier for your toddler is I want you to first think about your bedtime. I want you to have an earlier bedtime than you might think because your child's optimal sleep window aligns with an earlier bedtime and an earlier wake time. If you go to my website, tiaslidham.com/charts, you will be able to download 5 free charts. One of these is which you can decide what your child's optimal sleep length should be to be sure you're going to bed at the right time and getting enough sleep in a 24-hour window, depending on if you're needing naps or just nighttime sleep. So earlier bedtime, if your kids are going to bed 8:30, 9:30, 10:30, and everything's taking you 2-3 hours, start earlier. The second step is I want you to have a consistent bedtime routine. I mean so consistent, it's Groundhog's Day. You can't believe you're repeating it again. And the reason this is so important is because consistency for your child sets boundaries, and clear boundaries are what your child needs. It's one of their predetermined jobs in life to figure out what these boundaries are. And if your routines are, sometimes we do 2 stories, sometimes we do 3 stories, sometimes we go to bed at 7, sometimes we go to bed at 8. Maybe you have a bath, maybe you don't. Teeth brushing is optional depending on if you have a tantrum. If all of this is wishy-washy, you don't have a consistent routine, and your kids don't know what those boundaries are. They don't know what to expect, and they don't know what you expect of them. So I want you to have consistent boundaries. You can also, if you go to tiaslidham.com/charts, in this bundle of charts, you will also be able to grab a free copy of a bedtime chart that I love and have used for years with my kids. Now, my kids are 8 and 10 now, so bedtimes we don't really need a chart. They've got it all, up here. But you guys will want this visual chart to help set these consistent bedtime routines, especially with toddlers. The chart that you can download for free will have pictures and words, and it'll really help your child be able to, quote unquote, read the chart independently and have some of that power. And the third thing I want you to do is I want you to have a sleep plan. So toddlers, for the most part, are starting to transition into beds. Whether your child is in a bed or a crib, that will decide what type of sleep plan you need that's going to work for you. Now, I want you to think about a sleep plan that feels good to you, not one that your neighbor did or your friends did or your mom's groups did that worked for them, that you sort of feel like, oh gosh, I don't know if I can do that. Your bedtime plan doesn't have to be something harsh. It can be guilt-free and tear-free, and it can be something that works for you that you feel good about so that you can be consistent again with your sleep plan, just like your charts, to build those boundaries and expectations. Now, the sleep plan I use for kids in big kid beds is totally guilt-free, tear-free, and gentle. You're there to support them each step of the way as you gently teach them to independently sleep, to stay in bed, to stop refusing to go to bed, and best of all, to sleep all night. So if you are looking for a sleep plan that's gonna be gentle and supportive, that can get your kids sleeping independently in 2 weeks or less, I want you to go to tiaslydom.com to my blog, and I want you to read the full article on Get Your Toddler to Sleep Easier, and there'll be a link there so that you can read all about my sleep plan and if it's right or not for you. I want it to be the right fit for you. And if it's not, that's okay too. There are always other methods and other plans, but your plan needs to be right for you. So please, to get more information on all 3 of these bedtime tips to make bedtime easier for your toddler, go to tiaslydom.com, read the blog post, download those charts at tiaslydom.com/charts, and get this free information. Read about the Battle-Free Bedtimes in 2 weeks or less course to see if it's right for you. Ultimately, I'm here to help you in whatever way works best for you. So if you have any questions, always reach out. You know where to find me.